work, seeds of joy in every row. Come on down, we'll show you how what's fresh and green is growing now. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows. Tomatoes ripe, peppers bright, tips for keeping blooms in sight. Let's make your backyard glow. Tools and plants, advice for free. Bob's is where you want to be. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet, every Thursday at 2 p.m., and it is 3 p.m. Yeah, I ran into some technical difficulties this week. At about 1:30, when I was getting set up for the show, I fired up the software that I use to stream the show, and it said, "Hey, I have an update." And I thought, yeah, no harm in installing the update. I'll go ahead and do it. And part of the update was, hey, we've got a new feature. This really critical part of the software that you use, we're now going to make it a paid feature. So, now you have to register for an account and dig around and find payment information and pay for it and get it all set up. So that's what I've been doing for the last little bit. Okay, so now that I've got all that done, let's get on with the show. So, first up, let's check back in on something that I announced last week that's been running on Facebook, and I've been getting some submissions for it, and you can go over to our website right now and click on a banner at the top of our website and submit a picture of your garden or your landscape. And it is our Garden of the Year contest. And I know this time of year, your garden or your landscape might be looking a little toasty. So go back in your camera roll, find a great photo from earlier in the spring, and upload it. Now, I've had a couple people message me and say that they were getting an error message. There is a size limit. So if you get an error message, one of the things you can do is in your phone, go in and resize the image, like shrink it down a little bit, or compress the image so it's a smaller size, and then try re-uploading it. Because nowadays, you know, our phones have cameras that take massive photos. And for something that I'm probably going to be posting in a gallery on our website, I don't need something that you can print off and fill up like the wall behind me with. You know, a small image will work for posting on the web. So yeah, head over to bobsmarket.com, enter the contest. Entries are due by July 25th, so that's coming up in just a couple days. So you've got a couple days to enter, I've had some really great entries so far. And last year was the first year we did it. And if you're a winner and you're nearby, expect me to reach out and hopefully I can deliver the award in person and maybe do a quick interview, and that might appear right here on Bob's Live. And you might notice I'm clean shaven for once. I've got a surgery coming up here in a couple weeks. It's nothing huge. I've got carpal tunnel, but they do have to put me under. And I know from previous experience, like generally sometimes they tape stuff to your face when you're under anesthesia, and I don't react well to tape, and it irritates my skin. So I find that shaving a few weeks ahead of time works better. Um, so yeah. So the beard will make a return. I gotta grow out some insulation for winter. Um, Moving along, make sure you get your entry in for the Garden of the Year contest. Got some great entries so far. Moving along, fall is coming up. I thought we would head out to the greenhouse and take a look at our fall mum crop.
Today I'm out here in a really toasty greenhouse where we have mums. And the last time we saw these, they were little tiny cuttings just getting their start down in the field house. Now today, we're up here in our larger driving range facility. In fact, we're right behind the big red building. So the huge red building that you see when you drive through Mason, we're literally just right along the road here. And right here in these first couple bays, we have our 9-inch mums. And they're starting to grow really nicely and starting to fill out. And something that we do with our mums is we kind of color code the tags and print on them what they are. That's because usually when you buy a mum in the store, you kind of want to buy it before the blooms open up. Because if you want to fully enjoy the blooms, you want to get it when it's fully budded. That way you can enjoy it as the buds open and then enjoy it in full bloom. And, you just get a full season of bloom out of it. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you how we label them. Okay, so these are 9-inch diameter pots. And what we do is kind of color code the label. So these are orange mums. So it is a 9-inch potted orange mum. And our industry is kind of weird. This is a 9-inch pot. Some things we sell in gallon pots. But it's not really a standard gallon. We have gallons of different sizes, which is kind of crazy. It's weird. You have 4.5-inch pots. They come in different shapes and sizes. So it's not really a standardized thing. I could go off on a whole conversation on that. Over here, let me zoom in on that. We have 9-inch yellow potted mums. So we just kind of generally label them. Now within those colors, we do have different variations because we do plant different varieties. So let me try to find some different varieties here. We'll do a little bit of searching. All right, so here is a good example. Right here we have Mamma Mia Red Garden Mum. So it is a 9-inch red mum, but slightly different variety. And it could be leaf shape, it could be bloom shape. You know, there's different variations. Down here, we have a different variety. This is Morgana Red. Which, hey, I might want to buy this. My last name's Morgan. Morgana Red. Yeah, that might look good in my landscape. You know, a good way to decide on what you want is to look at the back of the plant tag. And usually there you can pick out the differences in maybe the growth habits between the two. And sometimes it comes down to variations in kind of the center of the bloom, and different things like that. Sometimes they have maybe a little variations in the coloration of the bloom. And we were hearing some water a little bit ago. That was the grower for this section. Just getting the watering boom ready to kick on and go down through and water these mums. A good tip with mums, they like generally damp soil. So they like to be kind of in wet, damp soil, but they like to have a dry top. Now, this time of year, it is warm enough here in the greenhouse that they dry off pretty quickly. Now, later on, what we're going to do is we're going to run out irrigation tape once they get bigger and fuller. And that way we'll just be watering the soil itself and not the leaves. And what that will help do is also keep spots off of the leaves. So that's a quick update on the progress of a little bit of this year's mum crop. We're growing a bunch of different size containers, and this is just a small section of this year's mums. And, well, I'll be keeping up with the rest of this year's mums as we head further into the fall season. And that's a quick look at what we have growing out in the greenhouse. And hopefully I sound a little bit better. Also, when the program updated, the microphone settings got messed up and it switched over to a different source. So it actually wasn't even pulling audio from the mic directly in front of me. It was pulling it from the microphone on the camera, which isn't that great of a mic. Up next, let's take a look at the weather. So the current weather is, well, okay, this is over on our website, and you might notice this pop up on our website now. It is for our VIP club, and if you haven't signed up for it yet, I recommend signing up for it. For one, it is our standard newsletter, so if you already get that by email, great. That's our blog posts, recipes, and almanac, and different things like that. But also now you can sign up for text alerts. And I'm the one that handles that, and I promise to be sparing with the text messages. So only things like sales, frost advisories, very important things. We're not going to be spamming your text messages, constantly. But yeah, sign up for our VIP club. But yeah, right now the weather is actually really nice out. Compared to previous weather that we've had. It's in the 70s out right now. And we are going to be warming up a little bit going into the weekend. And we do have a little bit of rain coming in kind of later in the weekend heading into next week. And right now we're about 80 days out from our first expected frost. And looking at the radar right now, everything is clear and there's no weather alerts. And if I scroll on down, you can see that the Ohio River level is kind of peaking right now, but we're nowhere near flood stage or anything like that. So, generally for our area, the weather is pretty good right now. Of course, we did have some major flooding in West Virginia that happened. And we got to keep those people in our thoughts and prayers right now. And of course, we got folks that are getting supplies together and helping those folks out. And if you're looking for a weather forecast heading more into the weekend and like what to do, like Saturday, it is looking like great weather to get outside and get some gardening tasks done. On Saturday mornings, we have the Keep Growing podcast, and I tried to gear it specifically for Saturday and heading into the week ahead. So always try to think about the week ahead and what gardening tasks need to be done kind of right then. And I look at specifically the gardening calendars for our region. So I look at the West Virginia State Extension Office and the Ohio State Extension and kind of our regional almanac information. So yeah. The next thing that I wanted to take a look at is something that I think you're going to find pretty interesting. I know recently AI technology has been in the news, and we are kind of bringing a little bit of that to Bob's, but then a unique twist in a way that you can use it in your garden. So we've got a little promo video here for you before we share it more widely. And I think you'll see why.
In a world of constant threats to our home, we need protection.
Oh no, my heirlooms! Get away from my tomatoes, you varmints! Shoo! Not the heirlooms! Stop! Those are top secret!
AI-powered, military-grade surveillance that only Orwellian governments have.
Talk to me, Goose!
At Bob's Market, we're introducing the Flock Garden Monitor. It does none of that. It's concrete. A motionless sentinel, it stands guard over your garden, disguised with our patented aggregate camouflage technology. Maybe scaring off garden pests? Keeping watch over your landscape and reporting nothing to no one at any time. Its system security has never been hacked. Unblinking, it will stand the test of time. Wait, did it just blink? Flock Garden Monitor, available at all Bob's locations in multiple sizes and models. Solar powered, does not require batteries, no subscription needed, no app needed, only connects to the cloud on foggy days, cannot read license plates, it's concrete. Also check out our other popular models like Gnome and Bigfoot.
Okay, yeah, so that is our Flock Garden Monitor. Yeah, so we have flocks of concrete geese. Flock cameras have been in the news recently. I just couldn't resist. So, and to take the parody to the next level, I just had to use some AI to build the video just for that extra little twist of the parody comedic value. So yeah, that is our show for this week. So until next time, keep growing.
At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.